and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make something I never thought I would show you how to make because I don't like it. However, that being said, I have used it in a recipe that I want to share with you because it's really delicious and there's no substitute for the flavor. However, if you go to the grocery store and you buy this, or you look at it and you see that the second ingredient on the list is, drum roll please, high fructose corn syrup. I choose not to partake of that particular ingredient. If I can avoid it, if at all possible, I will do that. So I have been playing and I have come up with this recipe for what Rick has dubbed Wonder Whip.
The Wonder Whip?
Wonder Whip. You could guess that it is a close facsimile to Miracle Whip, or salad dressing, if you want to call it that. I don't usually care for that type of flavor, but I have a recipe I want to share with you that needs that particular ingredient. So I'll stop rambling and I'll just get to the business. Okay. You are going to need, for best results, an immersion blender. So before I even get started, I will say, yes, absolutely have to have an immersion blender to make this. It could possibly work in a regular blender. I don't know. Never tried. The immersion blenders are not expensive. You can pick one up for less than $15 at the big box store. It doesn't have to be an expensive model. It just has to be an immersion blender. This is the best, easiest way to get the desired result, which is mayonnaise, really. And this is really a very highly flavored mayonnaise, okay? I'll show you how to make mayonnaise at some point, but my very good friend Cat's Cradle has a recipe video on her channel, how to make mayonnaise, and it is actually an excellent tutorial on how to do that. So, what I have in my 2-quart jar, no, it's not going to make 2 quarts of mayonnaise, or Miracle Whip, or Wonder Whip, or whatever we're calling this. There's 2 egg yolks here in my quart jar. I have it in my 2-quart jar. Well, no, quart jar. Good God, woman. I have a quart jar because I need the space, okay? 2 egg yolks are going in there. Along with the 2 egg yolks, I have 1.5 cups of a good quality oil. What I have in here is a cup of sunflower oil and 1/2 cup of light olive oil. I have 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sugar, granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Here I have 1 teaspoon each celery salt, which you don't see me use very often, so a teaspoon each. So celery salt, garlic powder, and Coleman's mustard powder, or whatever dry mustard powder you choose. And 1/2 teaspoon each of paprika and garlic powder. The other one was onion powder. Did I say onion powder or garlic powder? It was a teaspoon of celery salt, onion powder, and Coleman's dry mustard, and 1/2 teaspoon of paprika and garlic powder. Alright? Now, I want you to see how the egg yolk is still settled at the bottom of the jar, and that's how you want it. You don't want to jostle this around and get it mixed up a whole lot. And we're going to take our immersion blender, we're going to gently put it into the jar, straight down. Okay? And now if Rick would kind of put the camera down here, I want you to see the magic as it happens. We're going to slowly pulse this a couple of times. And then we're going to slowly leave it on, keep it turned on, and slowly start lifting it. Lifting your immersion blender. And then you lift this out, and you can kind of take your scraper and get this out of here. You're my cord tender, honey.
Hey, Beck.
Get it out of the bottom. It's going to look a little bit different than the stuff in the jar, but not too different. But you're going to avoid...
It's not white.
It isn't white.
What do you think they put in that jar to make it white?
Probably some magical ingredient like titanium dioxide or something like that. Okay? Alright. Let me take my thing apart here. You want to taste that? See what it tastes like? For best results, stick this in the fridge
That's really good.
for at least an hour so that these flavors have a chance to mingle. Okay, I'm going to taste it. That is really good. It's the closest that I have come to the garbage in a jar. Okay? Now,
May not be exact, but it's got all good stuff in it.
this is very similar to what I would consider an Amish sandwich spread dressing. It has all of those flavors. Now, you're not going to be able to completely replicate what Kraft has put in their jar because I'm sure it's a trade secret. However, this is really close. All right? It's tangy, it's creamy, it's a little bit sweet. It's got all of those notes that hit you when you taste Miracle Whip, which again is not my favorite, but I have to tell you, this is, you can show me. This is not unappealing to me. It has a nice flavor. You know, it would be a nice base for a coleslaw dressing, and I think that you're gonna love it. If you're a fan of Miracle Whip or salad dressing in general, like in a jar as a
Even if you're not.
or alternative to mayonnaise, or like Rick said, even if you're not, I find this quite nice. I even find it nicer because I know what's in it. It has no manufactured ingredients. It has no genetically modified ingredients because I know what went in here. I have safflower or sunflower oil and olive oil and whole farm fresh egg yolks. All right? And if you're going to get a little squirrely about raw egg yolks being in there, don't get squirrely about that. We put plenty of vinegar and lemon juice in there. That essentially cooked the egg yolk to such a degree that it is not going to have salmonella. You're going to have to keep this in the refrigerator. There is no question about that. If you make a salad out of this, you're going to need to keep it cold for food safety purposes. But that's how I make Wonder Whip. I hope that you try it. I hope that you love it. I'm so glad you stopped by and spent time with me today. And until next time, I'll see ya.